everyone, welcome back. It's been a while since I posted. I'm now halfway or slightly more than halfway through my clinical hours. I've met most of my patient encounters, so I am now on my second preceptor. The biggest thing I think from having your first preceptor going to your second preceptor is a transition. Everyone has their own technique on how they do things, or their preference, or equipment choices, or what they like to do. Of course, you're going to base everything on your evidence-based guidelines and what's appropriate as far as that goes. But there's, like some gray area. So there's a little bit of wiggle room, when to do a pelvic exam, when to do PAPs. Of course, we have criteria that dictates that, but sometimes practices have a little more influence or protocols that may modify some of those practices. But in general, everything is evidence-based. So the transition is an adjustment because I'm used to doing everything one certain way, and now I'm learning a modification to that. And that's just based on the preference of the provider I'm working with, which will probably just help me better guide and develop my own preference and how I will function in my paying job as a WHNP. So I do still have stress because you just don't ever know. I mean, even when you get like the patient list for the day, they're here for, like 2 or 3 word description, but then when you go in there, you find out it's kind of a little bit different, or not quite it, or completely off, or it could be completely spot on and straightforward. So right now I'm just trying to maximize my hours because I really want to graduate by the end of the year. That's also how long I have my contract up for. So communication, I think, is key between your preceptor and your goals and what you're trying to accomplish. And it just makes for a better experience. If you find that you're having some difficulties with the communication aspect, it might not be the best preceptor, or you might just need to engage that more in depth. So clinical's going well. I still have a class I'm in for comps for the boards, and my little clinical assignments, but everything is going well. So my only advice is focus on communication. Make sure you have like your goals or a list of what you need to accomplish for the second half or the remaining time you have in clinical, and just be sure if you have any concerns about getting that accomplished or questions that you are communicating, because if you don't communicate it, then you can only blame yourself. So communicate to your school, communicate to your preceptor, and just get it done. Have a nice day. Like, comment, share.